Yo guys, going on? Trey back again here, bringing another video. This one's going to be talking about Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit. Dana White said yesterday that they might actually do the fight again. So they might actually do a rematch for it. Now the reason being is because GSP with his ACL is going to be off until he said I think about July, June-ish. So he'll finally in June or July be able to start training again. He's probably going to need probably about maybe 4 or 5 months to get back in shape, to get back in training mode, and then he'll be able to take a fight. So we're looking at fall time for GSP to come back. He probably won't be ready to fight until about like I'm going to say October, November, if that. And that's if everything goes, according to plan and everything heals properly and, I mean, and he doesn't re-injure it afterwards because, after he does his rehab and all that stuff, I mean, it's a dangerous period getting it back, getting your ACL and everything, back to, I don't want to say 100%, but at least to 90%, 95%, of what it was at before. So a lot of things can happen. So it won't be until about October, November till he comes back. It's only February right now, and the two just fought, and they're not injured. Carlos and Nick are not injured pretty much as far as I know. So, that puts a lot of time. There's at least time for one more fight in between. Between that and GSP coming back, that's for sure. You could even squeeze in two, really, but they're at least going to have probably one more fight. I don't think Carlos is going to avoid it. I think he's going to take it because it's a good payday, and if he really believes he's the best, then why not, why not try? So he said they might do a rematch with Nick just because a lot of people, felt like the fight was really close or like could have gone either way. I've done 2 videos talking about my thoughts about the fight, especially my Nick Diaz retiring one. That one I talked a lot about it, so I'm not really going to talk too much about the fight because you guys know how I feel about it. If you're watching this and you haven't watched the others, please go watch them because then you'll get an idea of what I'm referring to. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in this, and I won't pay for it. That's all there is to it. I will not buy another pay-per-view with Carlos Condit fighting against Nick Diaz again. And furthermore, unless it's GSP, I don't want to see Carlos fight again. I'm not a fan of him, not a fan of the style that he brings. I'm not a fan of the way he fought Nick Diaz the first time. That should have been a tremendous fight, and instead it ended up being a line dancing competition. I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to see this fight again. I don't know about you guys. I want to hear what you think because, I really want to know what people think out there about this situation. There's nobody else at the top, really. I mean, Josh Koscheck is up there, and the guy who beat John Fitch, I don't even know his name. He's got to be up there. So, I mean, you could have maybe the guy who beat John Fitch face off against Diaz. That would be a good fight. At least that guy throws. That'd be a good fight. But who do you have Carlos fight? You could have him fight Koscheck, I guess. But then, you run the risk of Koscheck against GSP3. Is that necessary? That's not necessary either. So, man, what a mess of a situation the welterweight division has become. I mean, maybe the best thing is to have him fight Diaz again. I mean, we all want to see Diaz against GSP. Let's be honest here. Good guy versus bad guy. That storyline, that's a match made in heaven. We want to see that. But, I don't want to see Carlos against Nick Diaz. So I don't know what the solution is. Maybe I'll look through it and see what the best way to go would be in the next few days and come up with something in my mind. But I don't want to see Diaz against Carlos again. And yet again, I don't know what other way they would go because, there's quite a bit of time. I don't want to see if Koscheck beats Condit. I don't want to see him face GSP again. That's for sure. I mean, I don't want to see that at all. So maybe the best way to go is to have Carlos and Nick face each other off again. Just, man, that won't be a fight I'll be willing to pay for. And there's no way you can make Carlos not fight the way he did before. I mean, if he won the decision before, he can do the same. He's liable to do the same thing again. The only difference is that maybe Nick, now that he knows he's going to do that, can work on his footwork and speed so that he can chase more because he's going to need to chase because Carlos is going to be on his wheels just running back. End of the cage, turn around, run back. So maybe Nick can work on his ability to drill, just chasing a guy because that's what he's going to have to do if he faces him again. Let me know what you guys think, man. Carlos Condit versus Nick Diaz too. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Later. Peace.